Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we have a special guest. He is our new VP of Product, Ronnie. Ronnie, are you there?
Yeah, hey guys, how are you doing today?
Yeah, very good. And today Ronnie's going to show us something he's built using Titan, and that's dynamic surveys. Dynamic surveys are often really highly considered when you're using Titan as forms, as a platform alone. So it's really, really important that you understand how to pull dynamically from Salesforce. All right, Ronnie, let's take away. Let's show them what you've built, and then we'll go into the details.
Yeah, so let me start with showing you the end results of this kind of survey that was built dynamically right when I logged into the survey itself. So let me start by showing, okay, we're just sending the customer the URL and he will need to log in. Okay, in this time I just disabled the two-factor authentication, but it's also possible. So once
Is
he's
that
logging,
is that is that optional, Ronnie?
yeah, you can use it with login. You can just send it the demo like that, and that's it. You don't have to have the login option.
Okay.
So once you are logging in, you will see the questions and the survey that was actually meant for you specifically. So in this case, we have a demo, a survey demo here, and this survey demo has 5 different questions. Okay, each question has a different type. So for example, this one is an open question, open text, just fill out the answers. Another question, which is a radio button, you need to choose only one answer. Okay, another question which has ratings, and you can of course customize it. Doesn't have to be out of 10, you can do it out of 5, 6, whatever you want. So in this example we'll just give it a 10. This is a question where the answer has to be a number. You cannot input any alphanumeric text or anything like that, so let me just put it 6. And the last one is multi-select, so you can choose several different answers. Okay, in this case I will choose all 3 of them. Okay, once you click on the submit, Titan will push these answers to a new object called a survey response, and I'll show it in a minute how it looks like in Salesforce. It will push it inside, it will say, okay, this contact of this user replied to this survey at that point in time, and these are all the answers we recorded. From
Very
that
good.
point
Very,
forward,
very
we can
good.
do a lot of different business processes inside Salesforce and continue the process there.
Okay. So all I can see at the moment here is like you've got 5 different data types. You've got a text box, and if you scroll down a bit, you've got a radio button, you've got a star rating. And I don't know if you showed the customers, like if you click onto the enter a number, it's actually a slider, isn't it? That you can just go
Yeah.
up, down, that's it. Yeah, really, really nice. And if you scroll down a bit more, the last one is a checkbox. Now let's go to the builder, because that's where I really want to start first. And this is the builder here. And can you just talk us through how you are bringing that data in? Because right now, for the end user, they would only see one section, even though there are 5 sections. How have you brought those 5 sections into that one section?
Okay, so actually it's pretty simple. So we have here a repeated section, which is
Okay.
coming from the get we have in Salesforce. Let me show you just for a second how it looks like. So the get is taking the survey, which we're sending it in the URL as a parameter.
And can you show that us the object on the right-hand side, what that survey object is?
Yeah,
Is it this
sure.
one over here?
So on the right-hand side, we have the Salesforce data model that we have created for this demo. So we have a
Mm-hmm.
couple of custom objects that we use. One of them, the first one, the header, is the survey itself. Here, for
Mm-hmm.
example, we have the demo survey that I just showed you. You can
Mm-hmm.
use and add any kind of fields you want. For example, a name that will be shown here, a counter of number of responses, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
Under each survey like that, we have all the different questions that are being a part of this survey or this test. Okay, so
Okay,
in this
so
we have 5
just going to
different ones.
interrupt you here. Can you click, so in survey questions, are these what you're bringing back into the form? So if you go to the live version quickly on the
Exactly.
left-hand side,
Yeah.
yeah, so if you click the next tab that you've got open, the dynamic survey,
Yeah.
yeah. So are these what you're bringing back as questions on the left-hand side? So the text, multi, yeah,
Yeah.
there. Okay,
Number, rating,
yep,
radio, and yeah, all
very
of this.
good.
So all of my conditions inside the form builder are occurring according to this type, this field. This is a
Sure.
pick list that I have created here in Salesforce, and I'm asking, okay, this is the question type, and here I have the conditions. So I configure the condition to be if, for example, this field equals radio,
Yeah.
then we're showing the radio button. We can see it here. It's showing. Where is it?
So do you want to just show us the mapped? So in the middle, when you go show all, if you can select map there, I want to just focus on what the mapped stuff you've done here so far. Yeah.
Okay, so we're showing only the actual component of the radio button, and
Yeah.
we're all the rest.
Yeah, so basically what you're doing here is within one section, you've defined that if my hidden field equals radio, only show radio, but then hide the rest of them. And then on the next 5, it picks up dynamically. Could you show us, could you enable debug mode on and show us the back end side of it?
Of course.
Because I think that will really, really hopefully paint a picture for our users.
Let's refresh,
Mm-hmm.
log in again. Okay, so now we can see that, for example, this question type is text.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, don't have any possible answers because of this structure of this question. If you can see this question, for example, so this is a radio button, and
Mm-hmm.
Salesforce bringing back all possible answers that I will show in a second how it looks like in Salesforce. So this you can see that the label is best thing ever, and you can see it was brought here. We can also have randomizing the answers inside the radio button. So every time you log into the test or survey, it will be in a different order. Okay. So how do it look like here? So we go to the radio question. Okay. So this is how was your experience with the platform? Okay. So we can see it here. And then underneath we have related, which is the survey possible answers, which are coming back here. So we have the best thing ever, and the key that will be if I choose that one, best thing ever, and I submit, then the answer will be brought into Salesforce and will say the key is A. And here we can mark also the correct answer if it's a question that has some kind of a correct answer or not. And then afterwards, in the answers, we can of course apply grade or calculate some kind of something for the user. Okay, so these are all the answers, and these answers are coming dynamically online to the Titan survey here.
Yeah.
They're logging.
Well, these are great. So basically what you're doing is you're bringing those results dynamically to a hidden and then mapping them to each of the radio buttons.
Exactly.
Each of their own elements. This is great. So what happens once you submit this? What does the end process look like? So if you want to, could you kindly show us that?
Yeah, so let me just, for example, just have this one. So once I submit, it will push and create a new object called server response. Okay, so it will be under the survey. You can see it here, server response, and it will, this is the header, and it will say, okay, which contact created the response, which survey, and when, of course. Under the related, we'll have all the different answers the user inputted inside the screen. So for example, here, this is the answer. This is exactly the answer, of course. This is the open question. This is the number of years, the number. We can, of course, also see if the answer was correct or not, and we can also look up, have a link to the actual question itself. At the end, in the server response, here we can do a grade if we need it from the business scenario perspective. We can invoke new business processes. For example, if the grade or the rating that the customer gave us as a customer support will be under 6, then we can escalate his case or maybe even start a new flow process to mitigate with the customer. So all of that are possible with getting all the answers and analyzing them inside Salesforce and then starting a new business process inside Salesforce.
This is great. And so you're bringing back the responses. Could you show us like an entire end-to-end demo where you go ahead and insert the answers and then show us what they look like in Salesforce?
Yeah, sure. So let me just cancel the debug mode. Okay, so this is the, let me just submit that. Okay, you can see we have a lot of different responses for this one. Let's choose the latest one.
What does it look like an integration log for us, for our users who, or even from an admin perspective?
Yeah, sure. So here you can see under the integration log, all the different objects that were created. You can see here that we created a survey response and survey question response, which is we have it for each of the questions. So every question that the user responded, we are creating a survey question response and we are attaching it to the survey response itself. So in that case, we can go to the survey response here and take a look at all the actual answers. Okay, this is from now, and we have here the related. And for example, the answer was ASD. Okay, so this is one of the things that we can do really quickly here in FormType.